up, honey. Come on, Vicky. Hey, okay, so we're just visiting, shooting the breeze, being us. So I am really excited to have all of our guests, but I'm very excited to have my dear friend Vicky Little with Talent 360. She's been on our show. She does our website, our Facebook. She's gotten us lots and lots and lots of attention. She is the SEO diva guru. And so we're so glad that she could come and talk a little bit about crisis management. So whether you're handling a small business, a large business, or your family, friends, organization, nonprofits, through this whole Hurricane Ida and previously Laura, Delta, Zeta, A, B, C, D, all the ones that we've had and haven't, not all of us, we get through a storm and then we don't really prepare as well as we could. We get some water and we get some of our essentials, but we don't really think about what would our messaging be the next time so everyone can connect and come together. And we talked a little bit with Judge Johnson with Volunteer Louisiana earlier about connecting, but until you have some internet, it's kind of hard to do that. But tell us a little bit about some of the things that people can do in advance to make sure they have their emergency contact information and how to get a hold of them.
Yeah, so I'll give you a fine example. I had a client of mine, he ships all over the country, right? So the hurricane comes through, his manufacturing is in St. Tammany, right? He actually loses power as well, okay? So, he jumps to going straight to his website, putting in messaging, letting them know that, based on, the hurricane and based on weather situations, there may be a delay in shipping, okay? Because he knows the rest of the planet is going to his website. We haven't stopped any of the traffic going there. And so he jumped into action and immediately educated his client base on, hey, there may be a delay for your shipping, right? And literally ran out of product because his distribution plant was down for 4 or 5 days, okay? So there's an opportunity there through, and we've talked about this before, Betsy, about not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? You never should do that. You should have coverage on social media. You should have coverage on your website. You should have a way to even email your client base to make them aware of what's happening, right?
Or what could happen, or in case of an emergency, what is your protocol?
Absolutely. And so it's really important. Doesn't matter if we're here, which Hurricane Ida showed us, or you're in New York, or now, a lot of the East, the Southeast, and the East are getting hurricanes that didn't get hurricanes year after year after year after year. It really doesn't matter. We had an ice storm in Louisiana in February.
Go figure.
Yep. And so it really doesn't matter where you are in the country or where you ship in the country or how you do business. It's very important, number one, not to have all your eggs in one basket, to have coverage across the board, and to have some kind of action plan, to Betsy's point, on when things happen, what are you going to do, right? And so I had that conversation with my client today, and he said, Vicki, I didn't skip a beat. I didn't lose any money. I still was able to take those orders, but I made that client aware that there may be a delay. And I had a 5 to 7 day delay getting my product in, and now I'm good to go. So
well, he's
it's
better
really
off
important.
than a lot of other companies because if you think about, Hurricane Ida impacted the oil and gas industry. It reduced our production and capacity by about 1/3. Some plants were shut down completely, so the messaging to their employees is a little different than the messaging to their customers.
Right.
And when you're talking about that many people that are being employed and you don't really know how to reach everyone, and of course, many of us left. We left Baton Rouge, we left New Orleans, we left South Louisiana.
Had to evacuate.
What do? You have your phone. And in my case, mine didn't work.
Right.
I didn't have internet or anything. So people need to be very, very aware of what will be your protocol. And if you provide a critical need or product to fulfill that need, it wouldn't hurt to have extra on hand for those kind of gaps. But 4 or
Yep.
5 days is not a big gap compared to what we're seeing
What it
with
could
other
be.
manufacturers.
Yeah. What it could be is it could be drastically different. I did see, my local dentist, Dr. Fergier, he actually got out on his social media, let people know when he was closed, even the next day he was closed, and you could tell that's not what you want to happen, but you still have to get the message out, right? Whether you're a dentist or you're a national distribution that can ship all over the country. So there is ways to get that done, but it's important to have a plan, step into action, and at least before the storm hits, or at least whatever happens hits, you're kind of educating and getting them ready for what might happen.
So I did a little bit of research on the storms in the last 20 years. The last 10 years have been the worst. Hurricane Ida came in at almost a Category 5. It was 195 miles an hour when it ended up hitting Port Fourchon. So every business was affected, every home, every customer was affected. Predominantly now in 9 out of 25 parishes, they're just devastated. Our
Right.
seafood industry is
Right.
devastated.
Right.
There's no processing. There's no way to really do that. So what that does is that opens up markets. People are still going to have the demand. There's not going to be the supply. And in our case with seafood, that's going to open up markets to foreign seafood, which have been proven to be highly contaminated with antibiotics and carcinogens. That is a fact. I'll be glad to back that up.
Right.
And it's even been documented by the World Health Organization.
Right.
So what we need to do is make sure we can, as quickly as possible, get back to the business that we do that makes Louisiana
That's
famous, that makes Louisiana so beloved, and how quickly can we do that? And I think we've had enough storms and enough bad things. My point being, we've had enough bad things that have happened. We should have a contingency plan, A,
Yeah,
B, and C in place.
absolutely.
And now's the time to do that, because the storms
Yeah.
are not slowing down,
Absolutely.
unfortunately.
Absolutely. And I feel like, Louisiana was more prepared than they ever have been this time around.
Yes. I think our state and federal government are doing a better job than they've done
Absolutely.
in years past.
Yes. And I feel like we were more prepared with our levee systems, and we did the best we could and to prepare for that, because we knew that a storm like this is going to happen. I mean, you look at Lake Charles last year. That was just mind-blowing what happened there. You look at, us getting Ida in. So I feel like we're getting better as a society and as a government to make sure that we're prepared for that. But it is what it is. It doesn't matter how much manpower you have, you're still going to have a delay in opening. You're still going to have a delay or a gap in shipping, whatever. And it's really important to do it online, right? Because that's pretty much how people are going to look to see what's happening
That's right.
next.
And
Okay?
especially if phones are down, you might have your internet back up before your phone
Yep.
actually works. And then as
Yep.
far as getting a plan, like getagameplan.org is a great site to be able to plan that. But your family also needs to have a plan and a way to
Absolutely.
communicate. If this happens and we evacuate, here's where we're probably going to go. Here's what we're going to do. What do you suggest people do in communicating those messages?
The thing is so I have a couple of physicians, right, that are clients of mine. And so they're literally good at, getting multiple different kinds of communication out. They may not put out on social media some kind of fact about medical. They may put out some kind of something on social media that has a checklist of everything you need to do, and they'll send it out for their patients. I've seen that 100 times before. And so, yes, so I think that, as a business owner or someone that can be impacted, it would be helpful if you sent out a list of things that they can do or your client base can do to prepare. So, but I feel like, Louisiana does a great job of that. I feel like the governor does a great job of that. He's kind of ahead of the game telling you what to do to prepare. And I feel like that, we can do more. We can do more as far as the internet and social media. And we can communicate better, and there's always rooms for improvement.
So you've done a great job with our website, our social media, things like that. You're a member of Partners One. You promote small businesses, help small businesses. How can people get in touch with you if they want to really kind of fine tune and tune up the way that they're communicating? Because we've talked about several times, there are 70 different free directories your website needs to be attached to be able to get good traffic.
Right. So the other thing I will say I'm helping a lot of employers do is right now broadcast that they're hiring. I'm having a lot of employers come to me and say, hey, can you help me get the message out that we're hiring? So if you're a small business or you're a corporation and you need multiple things as far as public relations is concerned, you can come to me and I can help you get that out, right? It's not just about SEO. It's not just about social. I can help you get that whole message out for your company. So they can actually contact me via my cell, 225-614-1326, or they can email me at Vicky, vicky.little@hibu, hibu.com, or they can contact me through my Yahoo account, which is huffvicky@yahoo.
Vicki, thank you for being with us. We appreciate the messaging, and I highly recommend Vicki to help you out. And we are about to come around to a little more entertaining subject, a little more lighthearted. And Jay Hover is here with Red Stick Social, talking about a concert or two that is going to be helping musicians in need. That's right. Woo-hoo! It's time for a little bit of fun and all that work.
That's right.
And we'll be right back with Rocket Right. Stay tuned.